What's up, you guys? Here is a flow hip opening sequence for you to follow along. So I'll talk you through the movements and you can follow along, watch as you like. I always like to get started with a few deep breaths and just settling a little bit onto the space. So don't just jump into it. Take a moment to gather yourself and find a straight spine and just see how that feels at first. You can move slowly into your practice and not try to rush it. The yoga won't run away from you. You can start with any kind of movement that you like. Here, warm up your shoulders, set up a solid placement of the palms, and take a few rounds of cat-cow. Go slow and steady, and feel a fair amount of tension in your core and back muscles as you move through that tension to help effectively warm the spine up. Breathe in as you look up, and breathe out as you round your spine and tuck your chin to chest. Take a few rounds of these, as many as you like. You might need more. And then make a transition to downward dog as you maintain solid placement in your hands. Use the whole palm to really manage your foundation. And you can roll through to this upward dog variation, keeping your toes tucked. And this is just a deeper spinal opening that warms the whole body and just prepares it a little more for some movement that you're going to try out. And do this as many times as you like. You can always add more or less depending on your particular needs. A downward dog is a great place to just check in with the body. It's safe, stable. So it's nice to start out with this as sort of like a benchmark posture. You're familiar with it. You know what changes in the body feel like, and you're able to diagnose what parts are tight or loose. Lift your right leg up into the air, move it around a little bit before stepping forward. And as you open twist, reach your right hand up. Keep a foundation with your weight-bearing body parts. Bringing your leg up into the air like this just allows it to circulate. So start slow, gradually. Don't rush. Get some movements in the left leg after that. You can stack your hips. That'll stretch your front side, hip flexors, quad. And step outside of your left hand and reach your left hand up for the ceiling. Take this nice heart opening stretch here. All right, making sure you're breathing in as you open wide. And take your time, feel the stretch, and then come back to your downward dog. So we're just going to take this movement and slowly build on it. Stepping forward again, another open twist, a little more movement. And then you can dip your hips as you reach behind you. Notice the pivot on the feet, so pivot to the edges of your feet for that movement. That'll really, feels really good on your hips. And just bringing some more circulation into your leg as you move it around, continuing to open it up. Now just back and forth, slowly touching one side at a time and reaching. Now do this a couple times depending on the condition of your hips. You might need a little bit more but always scaling up or down depending on how you feel that day. And it changes day to day, so be observant of your sensations. Add more or less as necessary. Get that dip of your hips. It feels really good once you dip your hips. Here you can add this front sit through, really bringing a little more warmth into the body. It requires quite a bit of coordination to extend your leg through your hands here. Remember the pivot on your feet. Not rushing any of this. Only going as fast as you can maintain solid control. Resist the temptation to rush. Just back and forth, slowly building. And then you're ready to come up into a warrior one. Notice the angle on the back foot. You want to take a short enough stance that you're not losing foundation in your back foot, so that you can move back and forth like this through solid placement in your feet. Work to keep your arms behind the ears when you reach up, and your palms facing down as you hinge forward from the hips. Try to maintain a neutral spine here as best you can. Those open palms will help you to create a wide opening in your chest. Once again, plant your palms and take your leg into the air. Feel it reach. Left leg comes up. Open hips. And step forward to your warrior one on the other side. And you can embody the warrior in this posture. You can feel solid, stable from your feet all the way up through your fingers. One connected, powerful line of energy from the ground and all the way up. See that the breath penetrates the whole body. It gets absorbed everywhere as you continue these movements. Your feet here are going to be about hips distance wide. Wide enough that you can wrap your torso to face the front of your mat. And you want to maintain that square position of the torso as you take your movements back and forth. Again, opening up the leg, the hip flexors, back to downward dog. Slowly building this. So you've warmed up that hinge, you've set that pattern up. Now you're ready to build a little further. So as you lift your leg into the air for this airplane pose, pretend you're still standing on it. An active leg is much easier to balance with than a limp leg. So your heel should be driving back behind you, your toes pointing to your knee. As it leaves the ground, it still maintains the activity in the muscles. And open up to a warrior two. Breathing into a wide chest and stretching the mat out with your feet. So I'm going to take from warrior two, reverse your warrior, feel your right side stretch to your extended side angle. Think of creating that wide chest, maintaining an active foot as you lift into your half moon. Now, these are the two balancing postures we'll be doing today. Back and forth, not in a hurry to get there. The idea of the air having texture. So you have to move through that texture and engage the full body for these movements. Move through a fair amount of tension in your body. You might use a block under your top hand to balance on if you're having trouble with this, but I encourage you to go slow into this balancing posture, and it'll be easier than if you hop into it. And we're going to come down after warming up the legs, because that balancing's hard on the legs. It's demanding. So we're going to open the hips with some lizard variations. All right, trying to set up a neutral spine here. Step outside of your front hand, but press the forward shoulder and inner knee together. And you can start with some lizard push-ups, I like to call them. And then rinse your leg out again. Move it around. Movement could be a doctor. And bring that doctor everywhere. Make sure you get the other side best you can. Try to balance it out on both sides. Set up your firm posture, because you're going right back into some balancing. So it's as firm in the air as it is on the ground. Back and forth on your breath. Work to inhabit your whole body for this movement pattern. It's easy to forget about things that aren't directly in front of your vision. So take the extra care and effort to feel the muscles, feel the bones, feel your skin, feel your body move through space. Transitioning to Warrior 2 on the other side. Great setup for moving into your half moon balance. We really want to balance with a present body, present mind. I'm not trying to rush this, just slow and steady, powerful. Taking ownership over these movement patterns. Again, the air has texture and you're floating through it. Breathe into your reverse warrior, and then a smooth transition on your exhale to your half moon. Back and forth, maintaining that presence. And you can do this as many times as you like. Personally, I like to go until my standing leg is fatigued but not maxed out. But you take this as you like. The more strength you want to build, go closer to that limit. And here, maintain tension on the front line. Press away with the back toes as you dip the back knee and tap the ground a couple times. And maintain tension in your front leg as you bend the arms to 90 degrees, like you're doing push-ups here in this lizard posture. And try not to use your face to lead the way, so the head stays in line with the rest of the spine. And then rinse your leg out. Take it up into the air, move it around, feel the circulation, wiggle your toes, and then check back into your downward dog. How's it feel? Give yourself a rest, because that was a lot of work. A few deep breaths to collect and to feel. And coming back where you started with your tall neutral spine in a comfortable seat. You guys, make sure you take a couple deep breaths and just give thanks to yourself and your body after you do any kind of movements. Thank you all for joining me today, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the videos. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see, and I will do my best to make a video of that for you. All right, y'all have a good one.